The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Oldham High School's basketball starts now.
A delightful Tuesday night. We welcome you to Newcastle, Kentucky, to Henry County High School. Hi again, everyone, alongside my broadcast partner, man to my right, Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge. And Gary, regional action underway here in the 8th region on the girls' side. Two very good matches tonight. Two teams trying to get to the semifinals. And first, we get a good one between Trimble County and Simon Kenton. And excited to call with you and excited to be here once again to see some regional action.
Well, first time for girls regional action here at what they call the Roy. You know, for the boys tournament's been held here for years, and this year they're going to take a look and see if it's more centrally located and bring it in. And got two of the more dominant teams in the state playing tonight in this bracket.
Yeah, first you get Simon Kenton. They're 23-4 on the year. They've won 9 straight games. When you go through the district, they win their district. You get through the, where you're going to play and who you're going to play. And you go through all of that. But when you get to where you're out in these kind of games now, all your girls are locked in, ready to go, because it's a big game coming up here tonight. But 9 straight games, does that help you or hurt you at all when you get into regional action?
Well, if you're Simon Kenton, even though they're young, they were successful last couple of years, they understand it. The old coach they used to have had retired. His son took over for a year. He has since taken a college job. Dad came out of retirement and is coaching them again. No. And I asked him one of the same questions. Will your kids look ahead? He goes, no. We play them one at a time.
Well, they're only allowing about 39 points per game in that Simon Kenton team. Trimble County's only averaging about 41 points per game. What do they need to do well tonight to come out of here and possibly continue their season?
Well, one of the things we saw last night, Owen County had the same sort of task. Big school versus small school. Small school, you're limited in numbers. What they're going to try to do, if they're going to be successful, is limit the shots on basket by Simon. Control tempo. And to control tempo, if you're Trimble, you can't make turnovers and you got to shoot it well.
Well, Trimble comes in 15-11. Simon Kenton, as we mentioned one more time, 23-4. We got a lot to come on the pregame show. We'll catch you with both head coaches, give you the keys, and get you starting lineups and plenty more. We'll come back as you're listening to high school basketball in the 8th region on Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service in Crestwood, making your life easier with quality products and quality service. Find out more at andersonsales.com.
Champion, Simon Kenton. I'm here with Trimble County Lady Coach Zach Adair. Coach, as we were talking a little bit earlier, it's kind of like David and Goliath, small school versus a big school.
Yeah, they're very talented, very well coached. We're just trying to come out. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. Want to play hard, take it one possession at a time and together and see where the chips fall.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your team.
Yeah, we got a mixture of some seniors with some underclassmen. We're a little bit bigger, so we kind of try to play through the post, and be it post feeds, attacking, cuts. Try to control tempo offensively, defensively. Again, we did try to keep everything in front. We try to be solid on both ends. Talk a lot about taking good shots and taking care of the ball. Well,
you got through the district. You're at the regional phase of things. It's something your kids can be proud of, but I guess you don't want to be awed by your opponent tonight.
Yes, and then of course we talked about again that they're the history of Simon Kenton and how talented they are, and we understand it's going to be a tough task, but we also we worked hard this year to get to this point, and we want to make sure we're making the most of it and playing hard. So really talking about coming in with a good mindset. At the end of the day, you don't know, can't focus on the outcome, but we can focus one possession at a time. And if we can put enough of those together, we might give ourselves an opportunity to keep it close and be in it at the end.
You've listened to Zach Adair, Trimble County's girls basketball coach. We're tonight, second round regional tournament action here at the Roy. It's Trimble County girls versus Simon Kenton girls in 8th region girls action. This is Gary Forrest for Glycod.com. Coach, appreciate it.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
We welcome you back to Newcastle, Kentucky with Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge on Glycott as the first of two tonight in the 8th region quarterfinal on the girls' side. And we have a good matchup for the first game, Simon Kenton, Trimble County. We look at tonight's keys to the game, presented by Blinds Direct, looking for the best home decor in Louisville. Visit Blinds Direct. They offer custom blinds, wallpaper, and more. Proudly serving Louisville over the last 30 years. Visit blindsdirect.com for the area's best selection. Coach, first for this Trimble County team, they're big underdogs tonight. How do they come out of here with a victory?
If you're Trimble County, John, what you want to do is slow that tempo down. Limit possessions to your opponent to try to even things out. And that's easier said than done. One of the things they'll have to do is limit turnovers and make baskets. Sounds simple, but it isn't always the way.
Yeah, they're going to have to really slow them down. We mentioned earlier that the Simon Kenton team only allowing about 39 points per game. Trimble County averaged about 41 points per game. For Simon Kenton, they just want to push the tempo, right, tonight?
Very much so, and they're deep. So, he can do that by using the numbers he has available on his bench, and Trimble's bench a lot shorter.
When you won 9 straight games like Simon Kenton does, if Trimble County can get out to a quick start, does that get in the mindset, you think, of the Pioneers at all offensively and through the early stage of the ball game?
Well, it would your average team, but Simon Kenton isn't an average team. Even though they've got young kids and older kids, and we're talking about their point guard, who's a sophomore, but she's been playing for 4 years. So those kids are veterans already. They understand. They have a very wise coach. He will keep them in check, and they'll play one game at a time, because we're now at the point, one game you lose, you're out.
Should be a fun one. Look at the all-time series. Simon Kenton has met this Trimble County team only 3 times in program history, and Simon Kenton has won 2 of the 3. Tonight's broadcast is authorized by Henry County High School and the 8th region, with the production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student-athletes, coaches, and game personnel. We thank you for being with us tonight. We'll come back and catch up with the head coach of the Pioneers next as the countdown to tip-off show on Glycod.
Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Definitely. Best time of the show. Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycon.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
See what the girls can do. And last night, pretty good attendance. Games, not so close. We'll see tonight in this first one. Coach, you're kind of the David and Goliath, and you're the Goliath this time around. Big school, little school. You know this bunch. You've been with them for years. Tell us a little bit about them.
They're driven. Their freshman year, my core group went to state their freshman year. Last year they had a little hiccup. This year we're back to where, now you've seen what it was 2 years ago. You saw what it was and had a failure last year. So this year, you're looking for them to rectify the situation.
Coach, what stands out with this bunch, your strengths?
They play together. They're friends off the court. They play together. They just have that will to win.
Things that you'll have to do besides playing together to continue to be successful throughout this tournament?
Things that we need to do, we need to be consistent. We need to be consistent. We need to be consistent on both ends, offensively and defensively. Making shots has a way of making this game really easy. But when you don't make shots, you got to be able to defend on the other end. And we've been able to do that this year. We've won a lot of close games, and the games that we've lost, besides the first game that we lost, we've come down to the last couple possessions.
Coach, you've got both age and youth. Any thought of these kids maybe looking ahead because you've got Anderson in the same bracket?
No, we know tonight we're looking at going 1-0. And then we'll look at that. If we survive tonight, we'll look at going 1-0 again. Just focus on what's in front of you. We know what the big prize is, but we know we got to come out here and we got to play for 32 minutes.
Well, you've heard it from Coach Jeff Sowers, who's back in the front seat at Simon Kenton, and tonight they play I would say people would say an underdog in Trimble County girls, but as we mentioned before, when you look ahead, a lot of times that's when you look back and you're sorry. So a lot of action here at the Roy, as they call this, the biggest gym at one time in the state. Glycod's happy to bring it to you, and all the rest of the girls' action here at the Roy. This is Gary Forrest for Glycod.com.
Not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Yeah, definitely. Best time of the show.
Check it. Ooh. Oh, no.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome you back on Glycod with Gary Forrest, and I'm John Baldridge. A good first matchup in this quarterfinal tonight in the 8th region, Trimble County and Simon Kenton. And Coach, you mentioned it best, kind of got that David versus Goliath feeling, this Simon Kenton school. About 1,800 kids go there for Trimble County. Built back in 1876, about 550 kids. Simon Kenton feels like the favorites tonight, but Trimble County, don't tell them that. They're going to try to come out here for a victory on the road.
Well, in talking with their coach before the game, he's realistic. He says, look, we understand we have a tough road to hoe. We already are in uncharted waters, but at the same time, what the heck, we're playing on borrowed money. We told our kids, just go out and play and have fun.
Tonight's key players brought to you in part by Mortensen Family Dental. Mortensen Family Dental, a healthy smile means a healthier you. Visit Mortensen Family Dental to locate a office near you. Coach, what's a couple players that stand out both for you, for the Raiders and the Pioneers?
Well, you know, when you talk about Simon Kenton, you know, the nucleus, you know, Brinley Purnell, point guard extraordinaire. She can score, but really she's the setup person. And then you've got Kelch and Webb, both veterans, and yet they're juniors. You know, they seem like they've been around forever. And for Trimble County, one double-figure score, and that's Ansley Stark, and she's going to have to really carry the load, and it'll be a tough load for her. Wilcoxon and Mahoney also supplement, but they've got to get scoring.
We're underway on this Tuesday night here at Henry County High School in the 8th Region quarterfinal, the second day of the quarterfinals, or the semifinals this weekend. And the first touch here for Simon Kenton outside, a long three. No good there for Kelch. And a tie up underneath. You talked about Ann Kelch and also Haley Webb. Kelch averaging about 9 points per game. Also Webb averaging 9 points for Simon Kenton. But a good stop and back to Trimble County for their first touch. What do you expect to see here early on tonight?
Well, I look for Simon Kenton, as they're doing right now, to start off pressuring the ball and already almost forced turnover with a 2-2-1 three-quarter court trap. They'll mix up defenses. Their whole goal, make Trimble play fast. You get into attrition because their bench is limited.
Yeah, we mentioned pace being a factor. Simon Kenton wants to push the tempo, averaging about 51 points per game, have really kept teams in check, around 39 points given up per game. And Trimble County wants to really slow it down, only averaging about 41 points per contest.
Well, as we'll see as time goes on, fundamentally, Simon Kenton may be one of the more solid teams, both offensively and defensively, in the state of Kentucky, boys or girls. Their coach is a taskmaster about that.
Trinity Crawford back up top. And with no shot clock, that could really be to the favor of Trimble County tonight, taking a lot of time on this first possession.
Well, lots of ball reversals. You know, you're looking to burn some time and then try to get a good scoring opportunity.
Inside with Wilcoxon. And it goes back to Simon Kenton. A jump ball, the second jump, and the possession arrow this time to the Pioneers. Zach Adair in his third year as the head coach at Trimble County, a record of 41 wins to 46 losses. And Jeff Stowers in his 21st season and his second stint back with this Pioneers team in his first year back after leaving in 2022. First matchup for Zach Adair, as these teams haven't met since the 2016 year. Left side, back up top. Long three, no good, and this goes back to the Raiders. Haven't really been able to get the ball inside here early for Simon Kenton.
You know, what you'll find with Kenton is they love shooting the threes, and if you give them good looks, they're going to take them.
Wilcoxon off the back of the iron, no good. And pass underneath, the flex out.
Webb, number 35 for Simon Kenton. Her dad played at Gallatin County back about a few years ago. At one time scored 50 points in one 8th Region game against Owen County. So she comes from good basketball stock.
Look inside, beautiful pass, and able to keep it alive with Simon Kenton. Back up top, straight on three is good. First points to the Pioneers, and good for Haley Webb.
Well, Webb not known as an outside shooter, but as I mentioned earlier, if you give them a good look, they're going to take it.
The Simon Kenton team coming in shooting the three pretty well this year.
Well, when you're used to shooting it, you shoot it with confidence. It's when you're not used to shooting it, you shoot it, things change. Trimble with it, got away with a drop ball, walked it, but didn't call it, and ended up getting a bucket out of it.
Brierly puts it in, and the first two there for Trimble County. Back inside, Webb gets it taken away. Starks has it their leading score, averaging about 11.5 per contest. .430 to go in this first quarter.
Simon Kenton right up on the dribbler and in the passing lanes, trying to create up-tempo, and there's a forced turnover.
Back to the Pioneers. Simon Kenton on top by a point. As we roll about 4 minutes in here in this first quarter.
Trimble County playing man-to-man, but they really have sloughed off, sort of inviting the three. You have to pick your poison.
Long three, right side, left short. Starks unable to keep it alive and back out to the Pioneers. Swinging around, three left side by Ober, no good. And back up top, another three. And this time it's good.
As I mentioned, they'll keep shooting those threes.
3 opportunities. It's a 4-point game. 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Wilcoxon looks to get it back up top, and a bad pass. Stolen away inside and deflects out. 3-on-2 break, pushing the tempo there. Coach Simon Kenton has won 9 straight games, but have settled for the 3-point shot here early on against a Trimble County team. Not a whole lot of size.
No, but you'll note when they've missed their threes, they've also used their size to get rebounds. So it's not necessarily a 3 and out, but here goes another one.
And it's good once again.
So Kenton now 3 for 7, and all 3 come from 3-point land.
3 threes and a 7-point Simon Kenton lead. And taken away, Webb gets her hand on it and keeps it alive. Back to the corner. 3 once again, yes sir. Timeout used by Trimble County. 4 threes, 12 points across the board, and a 10-point Simon Kenton lead will break with 2:50 left in the first on Lyca.
The one way a good person goes to prison is to hurt or kill someone while driving drunk. Why would you throw your life away? John and I are asking you, please don't drink and drive.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lyca.
Brindley Purnell lighting up from distance early. A couple threes back-to-back on a couple of turnovers by Trimble County, and 2:50 left here in the first quarter with Gary Forrest, John Baldridge, and Coach. Already a 10-point Pioneers lead.
John, as you mentioned, they don't hesitate when they shoot the 3. Another turnover by Trimble.
Kelch with it.
Kelch will shoot the 3 as well.
Up top with Webb. Is it over to Ober? Got the 3.
Well, we talked about David versus Goliath, and right now Goliath is having its way.
15-2. Inside block. Underneath by Webb. Got back and looks to head for Purnell. Purnell skips it across. Kelcha 3. No good. And deflects out.
Can't believe they missed one.
And they'll call a foul here on Webb, pushing the back and back to Trimble County. It feels like it's hard for the Raiders to get anything going offensively.
Well, they've just got to stick with their guns. Your problem now is if you're going to play slow, you're down 12-2. You got full court pressure coming at you, 2-2-1. They haven't done a very good job of negotiating that. They force you to shoot quick, and that's what Trimble's doing.
Long 3 by Mahoney, no good. And back to Simon Kenton. The size is definitely there for Simon Kenton. Kelch 5'10", Webb 5'9". It's a 3 no good, and kept it alive once again by the Pioneers.
See, every 3 that they've missed, they've gotten the offensive rebound. And then they turned it into a made 3-point shot.
3 from Purnell, straight on, no good, tipped around. Trimble looks to take it away and back to the Pioneers. So an offensive possession once again for Simon Kenton. and use their time with 1:20 left here in the first quarter. And a foul assessed on the Raiders. Be the first foul for Trimble County with 1:15 left in the first. Good crowd making their way in on this Tuesday night here in Henry County.
Well, you know, if you're Simon Kenton, you've got about an hour drive south on 71. A lot of those people just getting off from work, so that makes it tough for them if they're the first game.
Another opportunity once again. Ober in the lane, kicks it out to Purnell. Swings it to the corner three by Croman. Is good. Naomi Croman, and the 8th grader puts it in. 18-2. Trimble looking to get inside, and it's taken away once again. One-on-one break, track meet down the floor, and Croman lays in the righty layup. 20-point first quarter for Simon Kenton. And Coach, anything that has gone right the way of Simon Kenton. Once again, a defensive board. Ober attacks the channel inside, missed the layup, and back to the Raiders. 7 left here in the quarter. And this will deflect out and stay with Trimble County. Two teams meeting for the 4th time in program history. And a commanding first quarter lead for Simon Kenton. Trouble to get it in. And it's taken away once again. Croman back inside, throws it up, no good. And a strong first 8 minutes come to a close for Simon Kenton. After one, they lead it by 18. We head to the second on the Lycat.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
An 18-point Simon Kenton lead after one. Back with Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge at our broadcast table here at Henry County High School in the 8th region, and a strong first 8 minutes have been really owned by Simon Kenton, Coach, and they really took it to him.
John, we talked about the keys to the game. Simon was going to want to play fast, and the ways they do that is shoot it quick, defend, trap, press, and it's worked out like they've scripted it off paper. Trimble, on the other hand, wanted to play slow. They've gotten good shots. They haven't made them, and the end result is Simon's capitalized.
Alyssa Starks has it, their leading scorer, and sets it up top. Starks, in her sophomore year, has been a key piece of this puzzle this year, averaging about 11.5 points per game. Trimble looking to get a clean possession, only those 2 points over the first 8 minutes. And you're seeing Simon Kenton stick with that man defense here early.
Simon really getting after the ball, putting pressure on the ball handlers.
Starks a three, no good, but a second opportunity. Kept alive by Brierly, lines one up, no good. And back inside, able to clean it up was Rumsey. And Rumsey takes some contact in the lane. Mariah Rumsey, the sophomore, keeps it alive, and Trimble County will keep it underneath. We talked about it in the pregame show. This Simon Kenton team, 1,800 kids going to their school. Trimble County, around 550. And two schools that don't meet each other very often.
Yeah, and there's a purpose for that. You know, Kenton in the Cincinnati metropolitan area, can drive 15 to 20 minutes and play all the teams they want to. And for them to play at Trimble County, they're going to have to get on a bus and drive at least an hour.
Well, here in the 8th region as this quarterfinal action. And Welch a 3. She's got it. Plenty of time for Ann Kelch and puts it in. Simon Kenton has really found their three-point shot here early on, looking to pick up their 24th win on the season and some foul underneath.
Well, you can imagine, John, one of the things they do is they spend a lot of time in the gym spot shooting. And, as they can indicate tonight, a lot of time out of the corners. They've got Webb, who is a very good inside-outside block player. So people have to guard her, and when they don't guard her, everybody else benefits.
Coach, you see it being around this game a long time as Kelch takes it away, and she'll go lay it in. But you see it being around this game a long time. You're up by a lot in the first half. What are some things as a coach you try to work on when you are in a region tournament like this, knowing you have to win, and you come out here playing well? What are some things you try to work on in a game like this?
Well, as a coach, you have to do the job for your kids of making sure you put them in situations where they can be successful.
And up and back gives it back to Trimble County.
You don't want to ask your team to do something that they're incapable of doing, even though you know, well, that would probably work. You got to ask yourself, but can my team do it? So you want to put them in winning situations. Try not to ask them to overdo things. Keep it simple, stupid, I was told a long time ago.
Mahoney swings it inside, and some foul. It's a contact foul inside the lane. Junior Long will shoot 2 here for the Raiders. A 25-2 game. And Kinston Long, with the junior, a 66% free throw shooter, will have 2 here at the stripe, and the first no good. For Trimble County, Zach Adair talked about just trying to keep it close. You got to find a way to make shots and get the ball inside and out the line. You got to knock down your free throws.
Well, they don't have great size, so if you'll note, they play a lot of 5 out. They'll try to screen across the lanes and dribble drive, but they don't have great size either. So, they're trying to do things that maybe would help them be successful, but you have to have the players to be able to do that.
We'll take a timeout. It's a 25-3 game in the second on Glycap.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary.
Welcome you back on Glycad with Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge at our broadcast table here at Henry County High School. A cruising first half lead by Simon Kenton, leading it 25-3. Looking to get to the semifinals on Friday. 3 by Webb, straight on, is good. Simon Kenton has really found their three-point shot and some success outside here in this first half of play. As Trimble County hits the deck out front with Brierly, and a timeout used by Zach Adair. For the latest updates on all high school athletics, including continuous score updates, visit GlyCAD.com. We appreciate what we do. We thank you for your support. It's a 28-3 game. And Coach, you've also been in the situation when you're down in these spots right now. What do you try to tell your team if you're Zach Adair trailing by 25 points?
Well, the first thing you would do is tell your kid to relax, take a deep breath, got lots of minutes to go. Try to find positives to emphasize. And when you're down 25-3, that sometimes is a tough job. And, tell your kids to keep plugging. They'll start dropping, and the other team, they'll start missing some. even though it looks like the inevitable is probably going to happen. Hey, we earned this spot to be here. This is your moment. Enjoy it.
Fans here tonight. Simon Kenton crowd has really made their way in. Coming down from northern Kentucky, a good showing from them. Same thing for Trimble County, and we thank you for being with us on Glycad, wherever you might be on your Tuesday night. Trimble gets the basketball after the timeout. They'll get into Starks. Feels like Starks has to get going if they want to have any success offensively.
Well, Starks being a smaller point guard version, one of the things that Simon can do is use their size and control her, and they've been able to do that so far. Another turnover by Trimble, and another
left
three.
Side. Purnell is good. Off the turnover by Brierly, and Purnell puts it in on the offensive end. 31-3. And a pass ahead across floor for Mahoney. Floats over her head and back to Simon Kenton.
You know, John, one of the things we didn't talk about, as this is a larger gym than most kids play in, sometimes it takes a game or two of playing in here for the depth perception to come into play. So a lot of people shoot the ball from the outside. The first game don't have lots of successes. But right now, Simon has proven that a myth because they've shot the three well.
Gadzala no good. And back to Trimble County. It is a much bigger gym than you get on the girls' side, moving the 8th region tournament from Anderson County, where it was last year, back to Henry County, where the boys' tournament usually is year in and year out. And that could play a factor when you have teams like Anderson County, who travels very well, and some of these teams inside that 8th region when you bring those fans in here.
Well, but you got to remember this. The stands are one thing, but the depth perception's the other, particularly in the end zones. That's where it's different from most high schools. They have a wall there not far away.
Yeah, I go to Xavier University, and they have a big wall inside the Cintas Center where they play. Same thing here, a wall at one end where they have some seats that way. And It can get very loud when you have a wall inside your gymnasium. 30-point Simon Kenton lead with 3:30 left here in the second quarter. And Starks, their leading scorer, has it up top. Over to Brierly. Trimble looking to find any success here offensively, and they turn it over once again. Odor brings it across and has it up top.
Webb looked like she was going to shoot another three. She's 2 for 3 tonight. And the whole Simon team, they just look so comfortable outside.
Bella Dorr up top.
They haven't had to go to plan B, and that's dribble drive.
The passing and the spacing has been really a sight to see tonight.
They're a well-oiled machine.
Inside of Dorr, off the glass, too strong, didn't hit the rim. Starks back inside the lane, right alley. Kicks out a play underneath, stays with Trimble. And Simon will make a whole platoon change here with 2:36 left.
Well, a variety of reasons for that. As they go on, and coaches thinking ahead a little bit. You don't want to think ahead too much. Coach is thinking now's time to get some kids in. And as soon as he puts fresh kids in, they give up an easy bucket.
Trimble gets one inside and makes it a 33-5 game. Simon back inside, and they'll skip it to the corner. Three is up once again. No good there by Getz, and goes back to Trimble. 2 minutes left to play here in the first half, and a first half that's been dominated by Simon Kenton. Inside, no good with Wilcoxon, and it goes back to Simon Kenton. Three left side, no good by Believins. And this is back to the Raiders. So misses both ways. And Trimble looking to get a clean possession offensively. Starks up top, gets it ripped away, and a foul is called. Couch took it away. And a player down here for Simon Kenton. We'll assess that on Starks, her second foul, with 1:33 left in this first half. And Couch slow to get up for Simon Kenton. Coach, when you look at this region and then the teams on the girls' side, who really stands out? Simon Kenton's played well. You saw a couple games last night. Of course, you have Anderson County, the reigning champ from last year, playing later here tonight. But who really stands out on the girls' side to you?
Well, when I look at the Forest ratings for girls in the 8th region, I have Simon Kenton, Anderson County, and South Oldham as the 3 top teams, and then the distance falls off.
Shot no good by the Raiders and back the way of Simon Kenton. When you look at the whole state of Kentucky, you've seen a lot of these girls' teams this year, and strong move inside as they get it into Marin Getz, and she'll shoot 2 here at the stripe. But who catches your eye on the girls' side that could really put together a good run in that tournament in Lexington?
Well, there's one team that not only can they put together a good run, they can also have some off nights and still be successful, and that's Sacred Heart. They're number 1, and then the next 4 probably are back a little ways. You've got Clark County, always traditionally strong. Cooper out of Northern Kentucky. You know, you always have a good team there. Their coach does a great job. Those are the teams that you would watch for.
Marin gets 2 for 2, and the junior makes it a 37-5 game. 3 in the left corner. No good by Mahoney. And back to Simon Kenton, looking to finish out a dominating first half, and another 3. Allison Wiggins puts it in, and the freshman puts 40 on the board in this first half of play for Simon Kenton.
Well, we've hit that magic number that we'll talk about in a little bit. You know, it's one of those things that you don't necessarily want to talk about, but it's called the 35-point rule that was put in effect about 6 years ago. And for games that are runaways, nobody's out here to embarrass other teams. So when one team reaches the 35-point mark, the clock will run continuously, you know, except on free throws when the shooter has the ball at the line.
Caitlin Blevins no good to end the first half of play, and a strong first 16 minutes come to a close for Simon Kenton. They lead it by 35. Your score at the break, Simon Kenton 40 and Trimble County 5. We'll break and have the halftime stats next on Glide Cap.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
Well, we welcome you back on Glycod, a dominating and cruising first half for Simon Kenton, leading 40-5 at the break against Trimble County. And back with Gary Forrest, I'm John Baldridge. And Coach, anything that wanted to go right went right for Simon Kenton over the last 16 minutes.
Very much so. And for people that this maybe is the first time they've seen or even heard of a Simon Kenton girls team, what you saw was on tonight, the shots they made, they probably would have made against other better teams, bigger teams, because more than half of their shots were three-pointers. Some contested, some not, but they haven't had to even go inside. Webb is a very, very good player inside on the block, and she spent time outside shooting threes, 2 for 3, their post player.
Yeah, you're talking about players who are 5'10", 5'9", and they settled for the three. They made the threes here in this first half, and when you have players like Purnell and Kelch and Webb, you're able to get out to that early first half lead. And now you get a chance in the second half to see some of those players who might not play a whole lot during the regular season close games, but now you have a chance to put them in, and that's got to be real satisfying in a regional game to get your back half of the bench, especially in the second half. We'll see in the next 60 minutes.
As well as their parents. It's a great opportunity for those kids. They work hard every day in practice as well. And we saw with about 4 minutes to go, Coach, brought a new 5 in, and they played significant minutes. They feel like they were quality minutes, not just into the game, I'm going to get my shots off. And that makes them feel like they're part of the team.
For Trimble County, they're a school about 1,300 less kids than Simon Kenton. They struggled in the first half, weren't able to get a whole lot of defensive boards, was, I thought, the thing that stood out for me. What do they need to do to just say, we did what we wanted to do, we accomplished a good season, and be able to finish out the next 16 minutes in the right way?
Well, they want to play within themselves. Don't try to do things you're not capable of doing. That'll get you in trouble and usually digs the hole deeper. Keep running your stuff. You'll score. You didn't shoot well early. It's been a while since they've been to a regional tournament, so there's a little bit of jitters there. So this isn't a usual feeling for them that Simon Kenton had when they came in.
Tonight's scoreboard is presented by Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions. Clarity for your financial future. We'll come back and give you those stats from the first half and get you set for the second on Glycat in a moment.
We all all know why recycling is good for the environment, but do we know how to recycle? Let's keep it simple. Cardboard, clean dry boxes. Paper, such as junk mail and newspapers. Metals, such as clean dry drink cans and soup cans. Plastics, such as clean dry water bottles and detergent bottles. Thank you for recycling.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
A plan for the future is a plan for peace of mind. At Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home. Proud supporters of the Lady Bearcats and locally owned by 1985 AC graduate Brian Ritchie, they have been serving Lawrenceburg since 1991. Visit ritchieandpeach.com or phone 502-839-5151. Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home, 701 North Main Street. Helping you create the tribute of a lifetime.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank. Building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Back at our broadcast table here at Henry County High School for the 8th region with our producer Jeff Cooper, my analyst Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge. A 40-5 first half dominated by Simon Kenton. Coach, what's some stats that really caught your eye over the first 16?
Well, when we look at shots made, shots taken for Trimble, 7 shots taken, only 2 made. For Simon Kenton, 28 shots taken, 13 made, and 9 of those were threes. That kind of sums it up right there.
Teams will flip ends, and we start the second half of play here in this third quarter. Kelch has it over to Purnell. Had a good first half inside to Webb, the starting 5 out there for Simon Kenton. Back up top to Kelch, and they'll just reset it here.
They've all got their spots. They get to their spots they're comfortable with. They don't have it, they'll rerun it.
Kelch in the corner, a 3, no good. Another opportunity. What does Simon Kenton need to do to get past the hump, losing last year as Anderson County won the region, a 3 made by Kelch, to get to Lexington for the state tournament?
Well, the hump will be tomorrow or Friday night if they win and Anderson wins, because Anderson is that other proverbial favorite. And they'll meet in the semis if both are successful tonight.
Well, that's when they'll have to meet Laney Johnson, who's the 2-time returning 8th Region Player of the Year, looking for her 3rd time 8th Region Player of the Year in her senior season.
Good to see Stark for Trimble make that drive,
Kelch no good, and it's back to Trimble. So a quick start for Trimble. Got a couple points there. And looking to get to double digits possibly on this possession. Starks swings to the corner. Crawford looks inside and back out. Starks. Trimble has really used their time well, and they'll take some contact here downstairs.
Well, Trimble's not trying to do things they're incapable. You know, you tell them, don't look at the scoreboard, just play. You know, because they look at the scoreboard, they're see they're down a lot, and they'll try to play quicker, and that apparently is not probably something they want to get involved in.
Running clock assessed here as well in this third quarter.
Yeah, once it reaches 35, that running clock stays. It's like the mother-in-law that comes and she never leaves.
No, I've seen it in the football in high school where if you get to 35 and you go back down to 30, it will continue to run completely. Does that say the same thing here? If it drops back down to 34, will the thing continue to run?
Yes, that's my understanding, because I asked the guy specifically, knowing that this might be a scenario in either of tonight's games that we have. And he says once it reaches 35, you know, because you would be putting the pressure on the scorekeeper. Stop the clock, start the clock, you know. And, you know, they're happy, let's just run it. And the only time he's going to stop it is when they administer a free throw. And once they hand the ball to the free throw shooter, the clock will stop.
And Kelch inside to Webb, back out. Dora 3, no good. And Starks looks to keep it underneath with Trimble and hit the deck. And Kelch has really shown some talent for me here tonight. And first time I've seen Simon Kenton this year. And they have a lot of size that will play a factor, especially against Anderson and later on in this region tournament.
Kelch, I think a good German name, and, you know, lots of Germans in the northern Kentucky area. And there's a Kelch that works for the Reds, and I wonder if she's any kin to them.
That is correct. There's a lot of German restaurants. I go to Xavier, as I mentioned earlier, in Cincinnati as a pass ahead, and Purnell will lay in the deuce. But a lot of German restaurants are right around that northern Kentucky area.
Very much so. The early German immigrants came in. A lot of them worked in the beer brewing business.
The Hopper House right down there in Newport, very familiar. You go up for a Reds or Bengals game,
yep.
And very common and fun place to go to. I've been there a couple of times. 45-7.
Just taking in the sights, I'm sure.
Yeah, enjoying the afternoon. And Purnell takes it away at the 3-on-1 break. Webb pass underneath and takes some contact. Good lob for Webb, and she'll have 2. I like the way I've seen Simon Kenton really push the tempo here tonight.
Well, they know their job. They're mature enough to understand it. And we see 5 new ones getting ready to check in. So here, halfway through the third quarter, Coach Sauer's already rewarding his bench for some quality time, not time at the end of the game. There's a difference. And, you know, he expects his kids to come in, still run their stuff, and be successful. Let's talk about Webb a little bit, who's on the line. As I mentioned earlier, her dad was an outstanding high school player, scored 50 points in the game at one time. And I remember coaching against him, just a really nice young man. She has really had a remarkable makeover this summer. Last year she carried, you know, I know with girls sometimes a weight is a scenario they'll talk about, but she carried maybe a little more weight than she needed, and she's trimmed down this year and looks like the better athlete than she was last year.
She's in her junior season and already with 3 double scoring games this year and 2 games of over 20 points. And a 40-point Simon Kenton lead in this tournament. Looking to advance to the semifinals and possibly state this weekend. Starks inside, no good, and a foul will keep it with the Raiders.
Well, Starks runs the show for Trimble. She's done a good job distributing, but the last couple of times down, she's also done a good job taking advantage of openings and driving it to the basket. She doesn't have great size, but, you know, she's a pretty smart young lady, and that's what you need at a point guard.
Will Coxon gets it back out. The 3 falls home. Up to 10 for Trimble. And Kingston Long puts it in there. Baseline, skips it to the corner. Nelter, no good. And back inside, the opportunity doesn't fall. And a third look falls home. So 3 opportunities for Simon Kenton.
Well, once again, Webb will drive it. When they collapse on her, she kicks across to the other corner, and that's a basic part of their offense. Another turnover for Trimble.
Starks gets it ripped away and back to the Pioneers. 1:40 left here in the third. The 3 too strong by Neltner, and it's back.
Well, the problem with that is even when she misses a long rebound, that's probably going to take at least 10 to 12 seconds just to get the ball in. And with running clock, the game will play fast.
49-10, our score here at Henry County. We appreciate you being a part of our Tuesday night on Glycia. Inside, good move downstairs. No good by Croman, but keeps it alive. Back out to the corner, the 3. In and out, no good. Croman puts it back in and has a chance for one more. Strong move by Naomi Croman, and she'll have one here at the stripe.
Well, the great thing about Croman, she never quit. On that possession alone, she had 3 offensive rebounds and finally the stick-back basket.
Naomi Croman only in her 8th grade year for the Simon Kenton team.
That's a good German surname.
Having our German night here on Glycia. Shot by Croman, swirled the iron. So 51 now for Simon Kenton. Had 40 in that first half. Inside, the shot no good by Brierly. Keeps it alive. Now we got a tie-up. Simon Kenton gets their hands on it, and the jump back to the Pioneers. Coach, when you're up like this, how much coaching is going on? I know when you're down, you're trying to keep your players motivated into it and keep their head right. If you're Simon Kenton, how much coaching do you assess in a game like this?
Well, when there's a lead of this magnitude, it's about the only thing you're doing is trying to get kids to continue to do things you practice. Don't do things we don't practice. And a lot of time the head coach will turn it over to the assistant coach. It's time for them.
We head to the 4. 51-10 is the score on Glycia.
We all know why recycling is good for the environment, but do we know how to recycle? Let's keep it simple. Cardboard, clean dry boxes. Paper, such as junk mail and newspapers. Metals, such as clean dry drink cans and soup cans. Plastics, such as clean dry water bottles and detergent bottles. Thank you for recycling.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved.
4th quarter action on Glycia. It's a dominating quarterfinal so far for Simon Kenton, on top by 41 as we head to the 4th quarter. Running clock in effect here at Henry County, and with Gary Force, John Baldridge, and Coach, if you're Simon Kenton, if you're a fan of the Pioneers, you got to be satisfied with the first 24 minutes.
Well, you are, and now you have a chance to reward your second-line players, and at the same time get your starters out without maybe an injury occurring.
Crawford looks inside, a beautiful pass underneath for Mahoney, and has the deuce. So the first 2 here in the 4th belong to the Raiders. Simon Kenton using their time, line up a 3, and it's no good. 11's too strong, and it's back to Trimble County. Starks pulls up, stops and pops, and no good. Trimble's had their problems all night long to get the ball inside. Do you try to change have they tried to change anything up over this ball game at all to get the ball inside?
At this point, John, I think you're limited how much you can change. You go with the stuff that got you here and, hope that some shots drop and stuff. They've had some good shots. They just haven't fallen.
Starks. Back up top to Crawford. .6:30 to go. Mahoney inside to the rack and blood of the line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by German American Bank, supporting your community with the German American Bank Spirit Check Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. Kendra Mahoney's first is no good and has one more at the line. So Trimble's season will come to an end after a year that will finish at 15-12 with 6 minutes still left to play, though. But they have to be happy with getting here to the region and putting together a good district.
Well, you had over a 500-win season. You made it to the regional tournaments, and then there are the individual accolades at your team. Yeah, most people would consider that a very productive year.
Simon looking to pick up their 24th win and advance on to Friday night to face the winner of Oldham County versus Anderson County. That game will take place a little later on. Stay with us about 20-25 minutes after the conclusion of the first one here tonight from Henry County High School. Starks swings over baseline inside once again, and contact called once again as Wilcoxon will have 2. Go on Wilson. And Wilcoxon here, 2 shots to come. First is good. Simon Kenton, we mentioned their 24 wins. This will be also their 10th straight win. How does Coach not try to play that into their head too much, especially in a tournament where it's win or go home on Friday night?
Well, they're kids, but they're also smart enough to realize this is a different season. This is the season that you played to get to, and in the other season, you can win one and say, that's okay, we'll get it back next time. There is no next time at this point of your season.
Trimble gets it back. Trimble with those 5 points at halftime. 15 here, adding to their total in the second half. Inside, able to clean it up was Rumsey. And lays it in for 2. If you're Zach Adair, you have to be happy with the way you finished this game and didn't quit if you're Trimble County.
No, they haven't. They've still continued to run their offense. They've actually have made 4 out of 7 shots this half, so much more productive than the first half. They've got the pace a little bit more where they want it.
Wilcoxon gets it stripped away. 3 from straight on for Simon, no good, and back to Trimble County. Pioneers will make a change as Caitlin Blevins checks out. And back to the Raiders. Under 4 left here in regulation. A running clock in effect, and Trimble turns it over once again. Pioneers have looked dominating tonight, have turned over Trimble County a lot. And that's something they'll have to do well against a Anderson County team if they face Anderson County with a lot of veteran leadership and a team trying to get back to the state tournament for the second straight year as Trimble County makes some substitutions. It's going to be a fun matchup later tonight, though. An Oldham County team against Anderson County. Any preview on that real quick?
Well, excuse me, Laney Johnson for Anderson County, an early Campbellsville commit, averages around 24 points a game, will lead them. Their coach, 5 regional championships in the 12 years that he's been there. So
long no good after the cleanup opportunity. 2 chances there and back to Simon. Inside the shot by a door doesn't fall, and it stays with the Pioneers. So it looks like we've seen the final minutes from the starters tonight in Kelch, Webb, and also Purnell, the 3-piece that has dominated this Simon Kenton scoring attack this year. Going to the back half of their bench, and they get it inside, and a nice shot falls for Allison Wiggins.
Wiggins banks one in from out front.
53-17. 2:15 left. Shot no good, and back to the Pioneers. They'll bring it across and all the way inside and all the way to the hole. Nice move by Angelina K-Byra. K-Byra lays it in, and it's a 55-17 game.
Ooh.
It falls home. Got it inside, and there's 2 right there. .130 left, and a turnover back to Trimble County. So it kind of felt like that David versus Goliath feeling here coming in tonight.
Very much
and
so.
Goliath kind of stuck it to him.
Yeah.
Over the 32 minutes with a minute left to play.
Unlike the other one, this didn't have a happy ending.
Well, for Simon Kenton fans, they'll be happy to move on and get a chance to continue their season, possibly get to the state tournament. Inside the lane, no good by Ritchie. And it goes back to Simon Kenton. 50 left. 3 too strong there by Nelter. And back inside and able to keep it alive are the Pioneers. They'll go back the line. Simon Kenton averaging 51 per game at 55 right now, and have really kept Trimble County in check.
Very much so.
First free throw no good by Angelina Cabira. And the 7th grader, one more at the stripe. And the second good. So 39 seconds to go. Stay with us. We'll wrap it up and get you set for game number 2. Inside the shot doesn't fall, and Simon Kenton looking to push the tempo and turn it over. Baseball pass ahead and back to Trimble. Inside, no good for Ritchie. Able to keep it alive, and they'll lay it in. 5 to go here in regulation, and this should be the final 3 seconds as Simon Kenton will advance to the semifinals on Friday night and face the winner of Oldham County and Anderson County coming later here this evening. As Simon wins it 56-21. We'll come back and wrap it up on Like Shot in a moment.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Blind Select, not just blind. Blind Select, not just blinds.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's postgame recap is brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome you back on Glycat here to Henry County High School, where Simon Kenton cruises to a quarterfinal win as they'll advance to the semifinals on Friday with Gary Forrest. I'm John Boulders. They win 56-21. Coach, it went right for them all 32 minutes here tonight.
Well, Simon is a very good team, and the game we just saw illustrates why. You looked at their players and you saw sort of a workmanship attitude. We've got a job to do. Let's roll up our sleeves. That's how Coach Sowers has always coached, and they know what their job is, and they set out doing it. And right from the beginning, it was obvious that they were on a mission.
Yeah, Simon Kenton, they win their 10th straight game. They go to 24-4. I felt like, though, Trimble County, they finished the year at 15-12, but their team and their head coach, Zach Adair, in his third year, didn't get his girls to quit. They really played strong over the last 16 minutes, finished with 21 points, only had 5 at the break. And they shot the ball well in the second half, and you got to be happy about how they finished out the campaign in the last 16 minutes.
John, I think it's a great analogy. Trimble's kids played as hard the second half as they did the first half, if not harder.
Yeah.
I think they can see that maybe the season's coming to an end, but their mission was the same. Try to be as productive as they can, and hopefully good things will come. Well, I'll say this about their bunch. Even though they lost, they were playing just as hard at the end as they were at the beginning, and hats off to them and their coaching staff.
Yeah, for Simon Kenton as well, you were able to get to the back half of your bench, see some of those girls, and now they get ready for a semifinal game against either Anderson and Oldham. We'll face each other in about 25 minutes or so, and we'll have that coming up here on Glycat for tonight's final scoreboard, and one that went in the favor of Pioneers fan, was presented by Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions. Clarity for your financial future. We'll come back and give you the final stats and get you set for game number 2 in a little bit on GlideCat.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from GlideCat.
Welcome you back on GlideCat, a 56-21 final as Simon Kenton advances to the semifinals on Friday night. Back at our broadcast table, John Baldridge with you with Gary Forrest and Coach. We look at tonight's final stats brought to you in part by German American Bank, supporting your community with the German American Bank Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. Coach, you have those final numbers, and I felt like we talked about it in the last break. Trimble County shot the ball well in the second half, but Simon Kenton really took it to him in that first 16 minutes.
They did, and Simon used their whole bench. You know, Coach Stowers not trying to run it up or anything along that line. And at the same time, you reward your other kids that maybe don't play as much in some games. This gives them an opportunity to play more. So with that being said, the stats, let's take a look at Trimble County. You know, just had a hard time scoring, and when they didn't score, it gave the opportunities back to Simon, and he took advantage of it. For Trimble County, they were 7 of 22 for the game. They had 12 rebounds and 14 turnovers. For Simon Kenton, they were 18 of 41, so big disparity in shots attempted and shots made for Simon. 19 rebounds, put them ahead by a couple, and only 5 turnovers. So not only did they shoot it well, they did not turn the ball over. When they don't turn it over, that didn't give Trimble much of an opportunity to get back in the game.
Yeah, Simon's going to be a tough out for no matter who they play in the next round, either Anderson County or Oldham County, 2 teams warming up in front of us. And again, tonight's final stats brought to you by German American Bank. Get the German American Bank Spirit Check card and visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. We look at tonight's most outstanding players, and they're brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance today, contact Leslie at 502-384-6184. We'll start with Trimble County. You kind of have to go with Ainsley Stark. If there was a promise for them today, Stark kind of led the offense for them.
Well, she's a sophomore point guard who ran the show, and a tough show to run against a team like Simon Kenton. But I thought she showed great composure, got her teammates involved, and was a leader for her team in a very tough situation tonight against a very formidable Simon Kenton team.
Yeah, for Simon Kenton, they really settled for the three-point shot. You could have chose anybody for their star player here tonight. We decided to go with Purnell, who had those 3 threes early, kind of broke the door open for the Pioneers. But she has a lot of promise. A sophomore 5'3" guard has manned that point position and averaged about 15 points per game, and she'll be a tough piece for no matter who they play on Friday night.
Well, she's a sophomore, yet she's been playing, it seems like, forever. As a point guard, a lot of times you get holed in as, okay, the point guard is the distributor, but they don't shoot much. Actually, she has the characteristics of both, and it was shown here tonight. First quarter, she nails 3 straight threes to kind of start the ball rolling, and then from that point on, it was about making her teammates better. So Brinley Purnell, our MVP for Simon Kenton.
Well, Simon Kenton victorious as they advance to the semifinals. And again, tonight's most outstanding players brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance agent, our good friend here at Glycad, Leslie Gilly. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance today, contact Leslie at 502-384-6184. The upcoming schedule on Glycad is brought to you by Law Office of Mattingly. Their reputation is their trademark, and we'll get ready for that next game coming up. Coach will have the preview for that here in a little bit. We will sign off on We'll take a break and be back here in a moment for the second game and preview game number 2 tonight here in Henry County in a moment on Glycad.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome you back to Newcastle, Kentucky for game number 2 tonight in this 8th region quarterfinal as Anderson County going to meet the Oldham County Colonels, and it should be a fun matchup. I'm John Balderly, joined by Gary Forrest in a moment. Two teams coming in have played well on the year. Anderson County has won 2 straight, and they defeated Wolford County back to win the 30th district title on Friday night, 56-39. And they're led by Laney Johnson. The senior is the 2-time reigning 8th region player of the year, looking to pick up her 3rd 8th region player of the year in her senior season this year. And led by their 11th year head coach, Clay Birdwhistle. Birdwhistle picked up his 290th win over the weekend, defeating Wolford County. And they'll face an Oldham County team that comes in losing the 29th district title game on Friday to South Oldham 61-35. And Oldham County is led by their 2nd-year head coach in Jim Hook. Hook comes in a record of 24 wins to 38 losses. It's a very young Oldham County team, only 3 seniors on the roster. We'll break that down and get you set for the keys in this matchup as we have about 10 minutes left before we get back to action and get you set for game number 2 after Simon Kenton wins game number 1, and they will face the winner of this second game tonight on Friday night in the semifinal here at Roy Winchester Gym here in Newcastle. We'll come back, give you the keys to this action next with Gary as we continue to roll on to the countdown to tip-off show for game number 2 tonight on Glycad.
Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Definitely. That's 100%. Check it. Ooh. Oh, no.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Flycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Flycon.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcoming you back to Newcastle, Kentucky at Henry County High School for the second game of our quarterfinal tonight as Oldham County gonna meet Anderson County. We look at tonight's keys of the game brought to you in part by Blinds Direct. Looking for the best home decor in Louisville, visit Blinds Direct. They offer custom blinds, wallpaper, and more. Proudly serving Louisville the last 30 years. Visit blindsdirect.com for the area's best selection. Coach, we'll start with Oldham County. What do they need to do tonight to be able to move on to the semifinals?
Well, you're dealing with maybe one of the youngest teams in the state, and it's be relaxed. And that's hard to say when you've got 7th and 8th graders and freshmen doing a lot of your playing time. So they have to grow up quick, and that's not always the case. So in doing so, they want to limit turnovers because that usually comes with the jitters, and they want to be able to shoot the ball fairly well, and that also comes with the jitters sometimes in a negative sense. Okay, they want to continue to grow and stay within their offense, just as we saw Trimble County the last game. Stay within your offense, and then turnovers, you got to keep them to a minimum. If you're going to have successful, you can't give the ball away.
For Anderson County, they defeated Wolford County to win the 30th district title on Friday. They're looking to pick up their 25th win tonight. Laney Johnson really stands out, a lot of veteran leadership. How did they come out of here with victory?
Well, you know, this is the trap game for Anderson. You know, they're playing to get to the semis Friday night. Their opponent, they already know, is a very formidable Simon Kenton team. But you can't put the cart before the horse. You got to play this game first. Don't be looking ahead to Simon Kenton, or you leave the door open for Oldham County.
These schools have met 31 times in their school's history. Last meeting back on January 28th of 2024, Anderson County got the 68-24 victory at Anderson County. The Bearcats have won the last 5 and 20 of their last 21 over Oldham County and lead the all-time series we mentioned 24-7. Tonight's broadcast again brought to you by Blinds Direct, and it's authorized by Henry County High School and the 8th Region. Production rights owned by Glycod. Media aim is by the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. We thank you for being a part of it. We'll come back and get you set with the starting lineups and tip next on Glyca.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From Glycod, it's Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gelly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated. Now courtside for all the action of Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Welcome you back on Glycon. About a minute before we get back to action for game number 2 here at Henry County with Gary Forrest, our producer, Jeff Cooper, and all our crew. I'm John Baldridge. It's been a fun first game we had as Simon Kenton advances to the semifinals and will play Friday night against the winner of this matchup. And, Coach, we talked about the keys into this matchup, a very veteran, experienced Anderson County team against a young Oldham County team. When you look at key players, we kind of know Lainey Johnson stands out, Faith McGregor, Ella Baum, the seniors for this Anderson County team. Who's the couple of players that really stood out to you when observing and watching Oldham County?
Well, Oldham, because of their youth, it's a constant lineup change. You know, for Coach, it's who's playing well at that time. And with youth, that can be a week time, maybe a 2 weeks time. So they're constantly changing. And the younger kids are improving. They're getting more playing time. So, you know, usually Bats and Wood will be their leaders. But then, you know, I looked back a couple games ago, and it was 2 other people. So you never really know with them. He'll play about 9 kids. They're interchangeable.
Yeah, it's Oldham County team that you mentioned, only 3 seniors. And how challenging can that be for a coaching staff, a coach only in his 2nd year, to not have that veteran leadership?
Well, you know, that veteran leadership is like a coach on the floor. I know that it's said a lot, but you know, you need that person out there the other kids look to. And at times they have established that, and other times with a bunch of youth out there, they're looking for the coach for help.
Well, the starting lineup's getting introduced. They're brought to you by Mortensen Family Dental. A healthy smile means a healthier you. Visit Mortensen Family Dental to locate an office near you. We meet the coaches for both teams. We mentioned Oldham County. Their head coach only in his 2nd year. That is Jim Hooks. A record of 24 wins to 38 losses. And for Anderson County, Clay Birdwhistle in his 11th season as the head coach, his 19th season with the Bearcats, and a record of 290 wins to 75 losses. And I caught up with him after the game on Friday, and their district title, picked up the district title against Wolford County. And he's been around the program, I mentioned, for 19 years, and he says that no player has really caught his eye more and stood out and meant more to that program on the girls' side than Lainey Johnson has. And Johnson, their leading scorer in her senior year, the 8th Region Player of the Year the last 2 prior seasons, averaging 21.5 per game. She's the piece that runs this puzzle for the Bearcats.
Yeah, everything goes through and around Johnson. And like you said, she's a senior, but it seems like she's been there for about 9 years.
Yeah.
And for the girls, a lot of them have the skills to play at an earlier age, and she was one. And the skill that she really embellishes is the fact that she can shoot the ball.
Well, this is an interesting set. Oldham County already sets up on defense.
Well, they concede the tip and get back in a 2-3, and I can only imagine they're going to probably slight Johnson wherever she is. They throw a lob over, and they obviously didn't find her very well. It's 2 right off the mark.
So Johnson on the board, and Anderson County the early lead. What do you expect to see here early on? How does Oldham stay in this ball game?
Well, they want to keep that tempo to their favor, and in doing so, that could slow the game down and give them a chance.
Haley, Wood has it up top, their leading scorer.
Wood's a driver. She's not a great outside shooter, but she scores in the paint very well.
Shot from the free throw line, doesn't hit the rim.
That's one of the 8th graders.
And it's grabbed away by the Bearcats. Anderson County, the reigning champs in this 8th region, went to the state tournament last year. They look inside for Jared, the freshman. She's the new piece of this puzzle, and she'll have 2.
Nice high-low set, got the ball into the high post, and she immediately kicked it down to the block.
So Emily Gerard will head to the line, the freshman, 6 foot. And Clay Birdwhistle, can't speak high enough about her, has been a mainstay in that starting lineup this year for the Bearcats. Makes the first there. It's got to be nice to have 6 foot as a freshman and some size inside.
Well, you got that to work with for at least 4 years. Full court man-to-man pressure, so they're going to try to create up-tempo to force Oldham to play fast and handle the ball. Remember, Oldham, to be successful, got to minimize turnovers.
Oldham looking to get it in and cross the timeline. Polly around her back has the full court press on.
About a 9 count, but she got it across. That's all that counts.
They get it to the corner.
Batts, who likes that 3.
Gets it back up top. 3 in and out, no good. Too strong, and McGregor tracks down the board. Anderson entering today averaging 57 per game, giving about 35.
Oldham in a 2-3. Batts gambled out front, missed the interception, gave up the 3. You can't do that, not to a shooter.
They'll get it ahead, left alone, Bryant. And Oldham on the board.
The youngster, good for a bucket.
So a 5-point game. We mentioned Oldham. They're averaging about 49 per game and giving about 51 per contest. Johnson from the free throw line and knocks it in.
Well, they haven't found Johnson yet, and everybody in the gym knows he's going to shoot it.
A 7-point Anderson lead here, in trouble to get it up across half court, and a travel. Bryant turns it over, and the 8th grader gives it back to the Bearcats.
Well, youth, big gym, first time, all those things can make it a little dicey for this young Oldham team. Oldham back in a 2-3. Got to find Johnson and communicate to where she's at.
Shot by Schaus, left short.
Air ball by Schaus.
Johnson back up top. Gerard inside, too strong. It's got to help, and we don't talk about it enough. Lainey Johnson, the main piece of this puzzle, but having her, it gets the rest of the offense kind of involved.
Very much so. And she's been around it enough to realize, they had a player a couple years ago that was all-state, went to University of Kentucky, and she learned from her. You give back to the youth.
You got to keep an eye on her. Gets everybody else open. Schaus has one from long range.
There's the case right there.
So a timeout burned quickly with 4:49 to go in the first. Already a 10-point Anderson County lead. We'll take a timeout on GlideCast.
Look familiar?
The one way a good person goes to prison is to hurt or kill someone while driving drunk. Why would you throw your life away? John and I are asking you, please don't drink and drive.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Well, when you have Lainey Johnson, you have to keep an eye on her for Oldham County, and it spaces the offense to get everybody else going. And that's been the case right now.
You know, they've lost her the first 4 times down the floor, and she was instrumental in the 5th time, you know, of getting the pass. So, once again, change of defenses.
Bryant gets it ahead. Shot underneath, no good by Wood, and it goes back to the Bearcats.
Well, Wood had a layup and just a little too much on it.
Schaus, top of the arc, 3, nylon.
That's not what Oldham needs. You know, Schaus comes out making threes. That makes their job more difficult.
Oldham brings it across. Bryant gets it over to the corner. 3 by Polly, no good. Second chance underneath, no good. Bryant keeps it alive and lays it in. 3 looks, and that's what you're going to need. Clean it up on the offensive glass if you're Oldham County. Their second bucket. It's an 11-point game. McGregor, Ella Bomb from the left corner knocks it down. Really good passing and spacing so far by Anderson County.
Yeah, very much so. Well,
Polly inside leaves it short. And it deflects back to Oldham County. 3 by Wood. Left short. And the Bearcats push once again. Schaus has it inside for Gerard and puts it in. I like what I see from Emily Gerard so far.
Yeah, the young freshman looks like she feels very comfortable out there.
When you have so many veteran leaders, it has to help a young freshman like that feel comfortable on the floor. Schaus, 3 is good.
Tell you what, Anderson County looks like they've been in this gym a bit.
We mentioned earlier on they defeated Oldham County 68-24 back on January 28th of 2024, and a lot of those veteran leaders were on this Anderson County team. Buck get made by Oldham County, and Clay Birdwhistle wants a timeout. We'll stay here. We'll take a timeout, actually. So it's 23-6. We'll break. Be back in a moment.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Well, Anderson on top, 23-6. Johnson inside and traveled. Strong defense right there by Oldham. Looking to cut this deficit, coach, and able to force the turnover there. And a foul called here on Johnson.
Well, Oldham showing their jitters. You know, the first time in a regional for a little bit. And they've missed a couple of wide open layups and made a few turnovers.
Pauly looking to track it down. And flows out of play back to Anderson County. They'll go throw it back in underneath the Oldham County hoop as no one touched it. And you were right, we talked about it a moment ago. Anderson County felt like they feel very comfortable being back in the regional. First regional game for them here tonight as they get it inside once again with Johnson. and came out here very strong so far.
Well, Johnson having a field day, not only scoring, but making her teammates better as well.
Holly double team way out front.
Very fortunate. Good ball reversal by Oldham, but not able to put the basket in the hole.
Ryan a little too far underneath and back to Johnson. Spins inside the lane. 3 back out, and it's blocked away. So a 25-6 game with about 1:30 left here in this first quarter. Bats, an air ball. Schaus from distance, too strong.
The first long one that Schaus has missed. He was 2 for 2, now 2 for 3 on the long threes.
You gotta like what Clay Birdwhistle's done as well to build up this program. He's got the students making all the way over to Henry County tonight for this quarterfinal action, and that's what winning does, to build up a program, and they show up game in and game out as Johnson right to the hole.
Nice look away by Johnson. Started right, went left, the defense bit, and she was able to...
And takes it away once again for 2.
Another steal by Johnson, another turnover by Oldham.
So a 29-point first quarter for Anderson. No good there for Bats, and a chance kept alive by Oldham. So J.C. Bryant took it away, and she'll have 2 here at the stripe. Bryant, the 8th grader, making her 28th appearance this year, averaging about 5 points per game and a 62% shooter at the line, and the first no good.
Bryant's from a basketball family. Mom and Dad both played in Tennessee. Dad was a former Mr. Basketball. Her brother plays on the Colonel boys team.
Second for Bryant, no good as well. So it stays a 23-point game. Beasley looks inside to Gerard. And this will stay underneath as kicks out of play. So Anderson County cruising first quarter. Wells looks to get it in. Cooper, one of the 4 seniors on this Anderson County team, dumps to Gerard.
Johnson on the bench, buying a little extra time.
And a travel. So back to Oldham County with 5.3 left in this first quarter of play. Oldham will try to get a final shot. Polly dumps to the baseline. Inside they go with Rosario, and doesn't fall home. So that's the first quarter of play. After 1, it's a 23-point Anderson County lead on Glide Cap.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Well, after 1 quarter, it's a 29-6 Anderson County lead, and everything Anderson wanted to do have done correctly here through this first 8 minutes back with Gary Forrest, John Baldridge, and Coach Anderson's kind of took it right to him.
Yeah, they've had some surprise players that don't normally shoot the ball well, knock down threes, and I think everybody, maybe even Anderson's people, are a little surprised, and in doing so, they've really, 29 points in first quarter.
Rosario inside of the left alley, down to the block, throws it up strong, and it's no good.
Nice up and under by Rosario, just couldn't get it to drop.
So a 29-6 game. We're working on the camera, so we'll do some radio here, I guess, right now. Lainey Johnson high on the left point, up top to Faith McGregor. Over Gerard, they'll swing to the corner with Beasley. Using their time. No shot clock in high school basketball. 7:15 to go in the second. Back inside Johnson, right past two defenders, down to the right block, used the alley, and has a deuce. Strong move, went up strong, and it's a 31-6 game. Bryant at the free throw line, works her way
nice
into the
move.
paint. Threw it off the glass, too strong.
Just can't get one to drop.
Rebound to McGregor, and Johnson brings it across the timeline right to left. 6:45 to go here in this second quarter. Working on the camera, so we'll get you that action in a moment. Back inside, beautiful pass at the free throw line by McGregor underneath for Gerard. And it's a 33-6 game and a timeout used by Oldham County. 6:32 to go in the second.
Well, Coach Hook doing everything he can. You know, he's subbing, he's changing defenses, he's using timeouts. Anything he can do to stop this Anderson County juggernaut, because the way they're shooting right now, they're a fine-oiled machine, particularly on offense.
How challenging is it, Coach, when you have a young, inexperienced, a lot of 7th, 8th graders, freshmen on this Oldham County team, to put together a game plan that's going to work and work successfully against the Anderson County team that just has been the power in the 8th region the last couple of years?
Well, you got to sell it, John. The first thing, your kids have to believe in you and in your game plan. And then in those timeouts, you got to be positive with them, because right now, you know, they're on the edge of saying, man, this is bad. I just want it over with.
Inside they have it here with Bryant in the lane. Works the right alley over to LaSalle. Back up top. Bryant top of the arc. 6:16 to go in the second. LaSalle in the corner.
So I like Bryant, man. She showed some really good things. And offensively, they probably missed 5 stick-back layups. You know, that's just being youth and a little tight, not being in this situation before.
Shot inside.
There you go.
Falls. They got it underneath. Down low for Rosario, and lays it in with the left hand.
They spent about a minute there, so you know, you build on your confidence. You take a shot you're comfortable with.
33-8, 5:45 to go. 3 Johnson straight on top of the arc and left it right at the rim. Rebound taken away by Oldham County. They push across the timeline, left to right. Rosario. Back up top to Lewis.
Now, last time down, Oldham got that tempo that they wanted and scored as they wanted. Now another turnover.
LaSalle inside the lane, turns it over. Johnson, a baseball pass ahead for McGregor. And Anderson County moves it right to left. Johnson back inside the lane, got down to the cup, left it short, and deflects out a play. Will go back the length of floor to Oldham County. Our camera back on, and we'll go back to some TV calling here. So 5:15 to go in the second, and Oldham County's trying to get to that double-figure mark and have done a couple things right in the last couple possessions. They turn it over here now, though. Taken away, pass ahead for McGregor, and has the 2. Assuming that be Baum, puts it in. It seems like we talk about Johnson, but the other seniors in McGregor and Baum have really stepped up their game from last year, even into their first couple years to their senior year now.
But, you know, really this is their first year of being in the spotlight starting rather than come off the bench or playing part-time. And it's taken them about 3/4 of a year to assume that position.
That's why Emily Gerard, only a freshman, has it inside downstairs and threw it off the glass too strong.
I'll tell you, nice game plan by Anderson.
She'll be a big piece in the next 4 years to come for this Anderson County team, especially after the departure of Johnson in her senior season.
Now there's where Wood is good.
And Wood gets it in there for 2.
She can work the paint, get her some touches.
back to Oldham County in a 25-point game.
Anderson ability to shoot it now.
What a three!
Wood not normally known as a three-point shooter, but knocks one down. So Colonel slowly chipping away.
Up to 13, and it's back to a 22-point game. 3:40 left here in the half.
In essence, they've played even with Anderson this quarter.
Gerard dumps down low to Johnson and got it blocked. Taken back by Oldham County, 2-on-2 break. Track meet down the floor, and a foul is called. Possibly could have been a travel.
Well, I thought she did a great job. She kept the foot down, did a great up and under fake, and the defense bit and flew out of bounds.
So Josie Rosario takes some contact, and Oldham County throws it in.
Why not another by Wood?
Up
Count
in the
it.
air and knocks it down from about 15 feet.
Playing with confidence now after that last jumper. She says, I think I will again.
Wood, the senior, one of the 3 seniors on this Oldham County team. Wells.
Nice back cut.
McGregor.
They've run that successfully earlier. You know, you can't let Johnson get the ball in that deep.
There's a foul.
The only thing you can do is probably foul her.
Such a hard piece to keep in check downstairs like that.
Well, she has guard skills and she has the size of a big. And, you know, they look for mismatches. If a big one gets on her outside, she'll shoot the jumper. If a little one gets on her, she'll block them up.
Johnson, a 79% three-throw shooter on the year. And makes the first, the second, no good. So 1 for 2, kept alive. McGregor throws off the glass. Second chance by McGregor, no good. And that will be a push on McGregor and back to Oldham County. So a couple of looks right there.
McGregor had 3 shots at it and couldn't get it to drop, and it, as usually happens on that 4th attempt, over the back.
So back to Oldham. Trailing by 21. Look inside for Bats.
Woods, who's played well.
Back out a long 3 off the back of the iron. Rebound back to Anderson County. Johnson back inside.
Yeah, look for Johnson to kind of assert herself again. And
so 2:15 to go here in the second quarter. Wood looks inside on a bounce pass for Polly and some contact from the back half.
See, John, I don't know if you can feel it, but the tempo is sort of slowed down to Oldham's pace this last 3 or 4 minutes. It's enabled them to get into the offense they want, work some time off the clock. Anderson, who shot well early, kind of going through a dry spell, so, you know, Oldham's able to cut the gap some.
Polly drives to the lane. Back up top here to Wood, a 3 off the iron. Rebound back to Anderson County and taken away by Baum. Johnson shouts into the lane and throws it away. Looks underneath and Wood gets her hands on it. Polly a 3 and misses both ways. Feels like Oldham County settling for the 3. Yes, they're trying to cut this deficit, but haven't really worked the ball inside as Johnson right to the hole.
Well, you have to be careful. You know, the old adage in Fool's Gold, you make 1 and then you shoot 5 more and miss them. Stay where your comfort zone is.
So a 40-point first half for Anderson County. Bryant puts it in.
Nice move by the youngster.
1 minute left to play here in the second quarter. In a 23-point game. Wells. And it's been a good look we've seen so far defensively by Oldham County. Just haven't been able to hold them off the glass.
You know, they just shot it so well early.
And there's one again. Bomb in the corner. Lines it up.
I don't know if that was bomb or boom from the PA guy.
Bomb shooting around 33% from long range and puts it in there all the way to the hole, and the scoop shot falls. Lexi Polly has the 2.
Polly normally shoots outside. Did a great job of taking it to the rack. Speaking of taking it to the rack, there's Johnson.
Up strong, got it to fall in the hoop and the harm.
And 1.
Lainey Johnson finishing out a strong first half for Anderson County, and one more here at the penalty stripe.
Well, it's really been an even second quarter, even though Anderson has 46 points. Oldham's battled back and basically won or tied the quarter, and they've kind of got the tempo they wanted, but defensively you gotta find people.
Polly leaves it short, and that's how the first half comes to an end. At the break, it's a 46-19 Bearcats lead on Glycal. We'll be back in a moment.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person. If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
We all know why recycling is good for the environment, but do we know how to recycle? Let's keep it simple. Cardboard, clean dry boxes. Paper, such as junk mail and newspapers. Metals, such as clean dry drink cans and soup cans. Plastics, such as clean dry water bottles and detergent bottles. Thank you for recycling.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
A plan for the future is a plan for peace of mind. At Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home. Proud supporters of the Lady Bearcats and locally owned by 1985 AC graduate Brian Ritchie, they have been serving Lawrenceburg since 1991. Visit richieandpeach.com or phone 502-839-5151. Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home, 701 North Main Street, helping you create the tribute of a lifetime.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Well, looking back, a dominating first half, kind of like the first game, where Simon Kenton got out to a 40-point first quarter, a 46-point first half for Anderson County, and they lead it 46-19 over Oldham here at the break with Gary Forrest. I'm John Baldridge, and Coach, we said it in the first game, dominated one way. It wasn't that David versus Goliath here in this matchup, but Anderson County, definitely the more experienced team, and they took it to them.
Very much so, and for Anderson, it was all points. And a lot of times when it's all points, sometimes you neglect your defense, and I felt like in the second quarter, and I have a hunch that Coach Birdwhistle is probably emphasizing that you have to find something. And he's probably talked to his kids about, hey, yeah, we scored 40 points, but you gave up 19 after, holding them to 5, early. So what gives? So I think there'll be a refocus. But as we mentioned earlier, I thought Anderson shot the ball better than they normally did. Yeah. Their players that don't normally shoot it well, they shot it well early. So it'll be interesting. And give Oldham credit. They didn't quit. They didn't drop their heads. They kept on plugging, and they dug themselves out of this hole a little bit to get things back, to make it interesting, as we mentioned at halftime.
Yeah, it's been interesting, and what's really been interesting to me is that Jim Hooks in the second year as the head coach of Oldham County, they didn't come out very hot. They're very, youth, not a whole lot of experience on that team, but they really turned around the second quarter. Wood got going, Bats got going, Polly got going, Bryant got going, and they shot the ball a little better in the second half of play.
I think they did, and, that's the nerves settling in from that youth. And, a lot of people have used that term all year long. Well, they're young. But now they're a year older as we are toward the end of that season. And can't really use that anymore. They just have to go and play.
Well, tonight's scoreboard is presented by Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions. Clarity for your financial future. We'll come back, give you the first half stats, get you set for the second half, and a fun, interesting second half to come on Glycat.
I can never figure them out. The little guard out front dribbling 2 balls.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
A plan for the future is a plan for peace of mind. Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home. Proud supporters of the Lady Bearcats and locally owned by 1985 AC graduate Brian Ritchie, they have been serving Lawrenceburg since 1991. Visit richieandpeach.com or phone 502-839-5151. Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home, 701 North Main Street, helping you create the tribute of a lifetime.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us.
We welcome you back to Newcastle, Kentucky. Second half action on Glycod for game number 2 tonight, Anderson County and Oldham County. And Anderson rolling. Coach, a couple stats from that first half that stood out.
Well, one of the things that came back is Oldham. You know, that first quarter, many people would have left them for dead, and they evened out things in the second quarter by playing Anderson even, and it was Oldham shooting. First quarter, it was Anderson shooting. Everything they shot went in, and it was the players that weren't usually known as scorers for Anderson.
Those first half stats brought to you by German American Bank. Get the German American Bank Spirit check card today and visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. What a shot. Right side. Trickles in for 2.
Well, it's a good start for Oldham. You know, it took them a long time to score that first bucket as we started the game.
So 48-21. Johnson a 3 straight on. No good. And couple looks kept alive by Gerard and stripped out of her hands. So we'll go back to Polly in the offense for the Colonels. And a pass outside, ripped away and taken by Baum. And she'll go down the floor and lay it in. 50 on the board for Anderson County. What you tell your team at halftime if you're Oldham County?
You know, just keep plugging. You know, you showed the second quarter you could play even with these guys. Let's go out. Let's win the second half.
That's no good, and Johnson takes it away. Gets ahead for Schell. She'll line one up, and it doesn't fall.
Now, the first half, particularly the first quarter, Schaus was nothing but net. Since then, she's 0 for 5.
Well, it felt like they had their whole offense going, even outside of Johnson in that first quarter. They've kind of gone away from that, but Johnson has responded in the last couple of quarters. And a good one right there for Lainey Johnson.
Well, you know, it almost looks too easy for Johnson. She scores when she wants to, and other times, you know, she tries to make her teammates better.
Wood gets it out. Polly a 3, an air ball. And it flex out of play. No able to keep it alive there is Oldham. Back to Anderson County. Bomb inside of the rack, throws it off the glass. McGregor is fouled. You gotta like that 1-2 punch outside of Johnson from McGregor and Baum. Have been there 4 years and have stepped up, as we talked about earlier on, getting some more playing time this year.
And that's what they've needed, you know, because what people were doing, they were loading up on Johnson and just daring the other 4 to beat him.
One more to come at the stripe, and McGregor's shot no good, 0 for 2, and back to Oldham County. Oldham County coming off that loss to South Oldham in the district title over the weekend. They always talk about having more motivation coming in off a loss than a win. Did Anderson kind of take that out of him right away, you felt, in this game, as Johnson lines one up and it's no good?
Hard to say, not being around kids. I mean, kids today, they change like the weather. You
Johnson
just don't know.
Inside. Well, it's supposed to rain tonight, by the way. Got to walk out to our car and make the trip back up the road. Bomb trips away, pass ahead for Johnson, falls the deck. Schaus right there, back inside, beautiful pass underneath. McGregor has the do. Schaus kept alive, and that's an athletic play by an upperclassman. And a timeout used by Oldham County. We'll break with 4:54 to go in the third, and a cruising third quarter lead for Anderson County on GlideCast.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Welcome you back on GlideCast, a 55-21 Anderson County lead at our broadcast table. John Baldridge, Gary Forrest, our producer Jeff Cooper. And Gary, it's been one-sided throughout tonight. And Anderson County, they're showing their athleticism right there. Schaus kept it alive back inside for McGregor. And outside of Johnson, everybody else has came to play as well and have really taken it to the Colonels.
Well, it started off Anderson the first quarter, big run, scored in the 20s. And then Oldham comes back, makes a game of it a little bit in the second quarter. But now Anderson, to start the third, is on another one of those runs.
Oldham with the basketball. You heard the band very loud in here. Anderson County does a great job with their school band inside, and the shot by Bryant off the glass, no good. And back to Johnson. Johnson all the way into the lane, stops on a dime, and the shot from 4 feet falls in.
Well, as we mentioned, Johnson, it really looks like she can score at will.
And a running clock as well we got now.
Yep.
Assessed here at a 36-point game.
For those that aren't familiar, in Kentucky, as in a lot of states, they have a running clock rule when you reach a certain point of differential. And in Kentucky, it's 35 points. If one team is 35 points or more ahead, the clock will run.
And it won't stop when you go under 35 as well. If Oldham scores here, they'll continue to run it.
The only time it'll stop is on a free throw when the free throw shooter is assessed the ball. But if the ball's rolling across the floor and it takes them a minute to grab it, the clock keeps running.
It will stop here as Aubrey Batts takes some contact, and the junior will have 2.
So he's still running. She hadn't received the ball yet. And now it stops.
Batts a 72% free throw shooter. The first is up and good.
And I have to believe that, Coach Hook may have told his kids, he called the timeout. It was at 34. It's like, hey, we got to keep this thing under 35.
Batts had her season high of 22 right here at Henry County against Henry County on January 14th this season. And the second is true. So 2 for 2 there.
Batts known more of an outside shooter than a dribble drive shooter.
Wells back up top to Schaus, looking inside for Gerard. Keeps it alive and gets it back to Schaus.
Schaus is better playing off the ball where she's a catch and shoot. When she's dribbling the ball, she's more of a I'm going to set you up shooter.
They'll take their time and run under 3 minutes. 3 from straight on by Wells is no good, and back the way of the Colonels.
Anderson, great job running some clock and running their offense at the same time. Took about a minute off the clock here. And let's not forget, with a running clock, that can go quickly.
Rosario hands it off to Polly. She'll bring it top of the arc. Rosario kicks it out. The three by Batts. No good. Batts cleans it up underneath and right there to lay it in. Aubrey Batts has the two. You know, you got to be happy with Batts. She's only in her junior year. Will come back for one more next year, averaging about 10 points per game, and has stepped up here in the second half.
Yes, she has. You know, probably didn't have the district that she had hoped to have, but when you lose as a team, not as an individual.
Inside, McGregor from the right block, no good. Gerard right there, and she'll lay it in. Cleans it up with the right hand.
This 6-footer played like a 7-footer then. It was Gerard tiring over everybody for that rebound stick back.
She's a fun sight to see, 6-foot freshman out there.
Yeah, and just a freshman, as they say.
Wood, their leading scorer in the lane, throws it off the glass too strong. And McGregor draws some contact. Grab the board, and a foul assessed here on Oldham County. Running clock with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. We thank you for being a part of our Tuesday night, wherever you may be here on Glycat. Up top, Wells, a three, top of the arc is off the back of the iron. Abby Wells checks in, the junior, a couple of looks, and just hasn't been able to get one to go home yet so far.
Had a good look. You know, they gave her plenty of room.
It's an Anderson County team that shoots the three very well. Around the 40% mark this year.
Well, they don't shoot quick shots. They shoot shots they're comfortable with. Sometimes with kids, you know, they'll take a shot and they'll miss it, and the coach will say, you need a better shot, and they'll say, well, I was open.
Gerard, no good left side.
My favorite retort was, there's probably a reason why you're open.
12 left here in the third quarter. LaSalle back up top to Rosario and gets down the left alley and pushing the back. So that will run out the clock with a running clock. They will assess the foul, but after 3 quarters of play, it's a 59-25 Anderson County lead on Glycat.
Well, I know a lot of...
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
The one way a good person goes to prison is to hurt or kill someone while driving drunk. Why would you throw your life away? John and I are asking you, please don't drink and drive.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
We welcome you back to Glycod. It's a 59-25 game, and Coach Anderson County's been playing well, but they got a great support here tonight from their student section, their band on hand, the parents, all the faithful here, and they have came to play over 3 quarters.
Well, one thing, John, you learn as you get out away from the metropolitan areas in the state, many school systems have one school, one high school in the county, and that really draws support. Back 20 to 30 years ago, before consolidation, when bigger was better, there might have been 5 schools. And so if you were a successful area, as they had what was called Western Sinai, and then they had Anderson County High School and Lawrenceburg High School at one time.
Anderson looking for their 25th win here tonight, trying to go to 25-8 on the season. And leading big right now with a running clock in this fourth quarter. Oldham with the basketball. And they'll look to trigger in. LaSalle. And De Silva puts it in.
De Silva is showing a nice stroke out there tonight.
Kayla De Silva, the 8th grader. And you can be happy if you're Jim Hooks about the future of this program. So many young underclassmen, 8th graders, 7th graders, freshmen, sophomore on this team, seeing a lot of playing time.
Well, the great thing about having numbers is it creates competition. And, every kid thinks I should play more. Okay, you got all summer to prove it.
A tie-up will keep it with Anderson County. And that's one thing, they'll get right to it with the summer coming and get back to action in the winter time, and should be a very promising next year for Oldham County in that 2026 season. They'll get it back, though, trying to cut this deficit, though. LaSalle in a 59-27 game. And Wood dribbles off her foot, but right back to LaSalle. Maddie LaSalle has it up top. Have you been happy with the defense tonight by Anderson County? A shot inside, no good by
I think
Wood.
They're usually fairly strong defensively, and physical as well.
6 left to go. Still going with that starting 5. Besides Johnson out there for Anderson County. Wells. And Schaus looks inside to Gerard. And they'll just take their time.
Notice how Johnson got her flurry of points in the third quarter to push the lead out there. And, she's been more of a setup person this half.
Not in there right now.
Well, and I suspect she may not be with a running clock.
Cooper gets it back out. Back inside they go with Beasley. And left it short. 3-on-2 break. Wood inside the lane and no good. Doesn't hit the rim. Look to push in transition and just haven't been able to really slow it down at all when you get inside with Oldham County. Pauly fades back and leaves it off the glass, no good.
We're going to see a lot of shots here. And, at the end of the game, the clock's running, and there's not going to be more than 2 or 3 passes than a shot.
Second chance, left short, and back to Oldham. LaSalle too strong and goes back to Anderson. So misses both ways we have seen over the last couple of minutes. And 4:20 to go. And a foul assessed. It looked like there's a couple of substitutions both ways.
Well,
with running clock.
And the clock will run. And Anderson's coach told one of the officials, hey, I'll take a timeout. Just stop it. We'll get them in and let's keep it going. And the clock. So they're going to burn about 30 seconds off the clock just getting kids in. But, you got to get those young ones in.
Coach, when you've been there before, like Anderson County, trying to get back to the state tournament, going last year, I know it's got to be physically demanding to try to get back there, but how much pressure do you put on yourself mentally after knowing you're going to be the favorite, trying to put yourself in that spot to get back and then put together a run once you possibly get to the state tournament?
Well, John, you asked about 3 different questions in there, and I'm trying to answer those. I'm not so sure Anderson was really the favorite at the end last year. I think it was Simon, and they actually upset Simon. So Coach told me it was probably one of the more pleasurable wins they've had because they weren't the picked, they were in the pack. Now, they were still probably the second best team, and I don't think anybody would argue with that. So he really felt good. And then spent half the summer in the hospital for some illness.
But it's got to play a demanding role physically just to get through it, but also mentally knowing that you have to try to get back and be that top dog in the region.
John, I wanted to just take weeks off after it was over. It is mentally and physically draining. And if you're fortunate enough to go to the state tournament, everybody says, well, that's great. That's another 2 weeks. Man, it just wears on. You don't realize the work you have to put in, gathering information, scouting for possible opponents. You know you're going to have one. That's who you've drawn. But when I went every year planning on playing 4 games.
Shot no good by Beasley and back to Oldham County. Lewis gets it back out. And Wood's still in there, their leading scorer, the senior. Has it right now.
He's trying to get minutes for his seniors as, it kind of comes to an end.
And Wood lays it in. And a timeout he's used, so we'll take one as well. One.
Well,
it's just a
get them in quick.
Timeout,
yes.
So we will stay here
There's no strategy involved. I just need to take my seniors out, let them get the deserving hand that they got.
So there are 3 seniors and Wood. Check out as Oldham County makes some changes here in the last minute. Willie Newcomb also checks out for Oldham County. As Oldham will get it back with 1:05 left. We appreciate you spending your night with us. The semifinals will take place on Friday here in Henry County with the final game of the championship on Saturday, and should be some fun action, Coach, as looks like Simon Kenton will meet this Anderson County team in one of those 2 games.
Yeah, I think, always love the semifinals. The pretenders, they kind of fallen by the wayside, and the ones that people expect. We talked earlier, I always think of the 4 teams in the semis, 3 expected to be there, maybe 1 is a surprise.
30 seconds left, and the free throw falls for Josie Rosario. Kate Cooper will check out as Anderson County will make some changes here late. And the second free throw left short, so it's a 29-point game. And Anderson going to the back half of their bench. Olivia Kane has it straight on. Ten left to play. This will be the final 10 seconds, and Anderson County will pick up their 25th win as a foul assessed with 2 left, and the buzzer will sound. The Bearcats head to the semifinals with a demanding 61-32 victory. We'll come back and have the post-game wrap-up show in a moment on Glidecast.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
We all know why recycling is good for the environment, but do we know how to recycle? Let's keep it simple. Cardboard, clean, dry boxes. Paper, such as junk mail and newspapers. Metals, such as clean, dry drink cans and soup cans. Plastics, such as clean, dry water bottles and detergent bottles. Thank you for recycling.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
A plan for the future is a plan for peace of mind at Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home. Proud supporters of the Lady Bearcats and locally owned by 1985 AC graduate Brian Ritchie, they have been serving Lawrenceburg since 1991. Visit ritchieandpeach.com or phone 502-839-5151. Ritchie and Peach Funeral Home, 701 North Main Street, helping you create the tribute of a lifetime.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome you back on Glycod. The final tonight as Anderson County wins at 61-32 to go to the semifinals, and with Gary Forrest here. And Coach, it was one-sided. I felt like Oldham County played a better 3 quarters after kind of getting dominated in that first quarter play, but Laney Johnson was really strong and right back where Anderson wants to be on Friday night.
Well, to mention Johnson, many people think probably the number 1 player in the region. First quarter, she showed it, but she also had a lot of help from her teammates. And in third quarter, when Oldham carved into the lead a little bit, she turned it on again. And then fourth quarter, even the latter part of the third quarter, she took care of her teammates, made them better.
Yeah, she didn't really play a whole lot in the fourth quarter as well. They got McGregor and Baum and Gerard involved and Schaus involved. Is this team destined to go places without the help of Laney Johnson, or does she have to be top peak game in and game out to be successful past this game tonight?
They can't survive with her being in foul trouble or hurt, something along that line. She's too big a part. They've spent all year trying to diversify, get other players to contribute more, and they've done that some, but she's still a big chunk of their team.
We'll come back and look at Oldham County and talk about where they go next year. So much experience coming back with a youthful team this year, and a big matchup on Friday night between Anderson County and Simon Kenton. We'll break that down. Tonight's scoreboard presented by Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions. Clarity for your financial future, as a 29-point victory for Anderson County here on Glycod.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut. And the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
So they had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Final score, a 61-32 Anderson County win here at Henry County High School in Newcastle, Kentucky. Back on the post-game wrap-up show. Look, tonight's final stats brought to you by German American Bank, supporting your community with the German American Bank Spirit Check Card. Visit GermanAmericanBank.com for more information. Coach, you have the numbers, and what stood out?
Well, the big thing stands out. I'm looking at Anderson County, who ends up winning by 30, and we had a running clock most of the second half. And Clay Birdsall's team shot 23 of 42, so awfully good shooting. Had 21 rebounds and only 8 turnovers. For any level of basketball, that's really good. For Oldham County, they were 13 of 38 after starting off so slow. 12 rebounds and 13 turnovers, so they cut their turnovers down the second half. But the shooting percentage the first half, and then for the game, you're not going to beat Anderson when you let them shoot almost 60%.
For Oldham County, we talked about only 3 seniors on this team. It's a very youthful and a team that has a lot of players coming back from last year. Aubrey Batts, one of their best players, will be a senior. Lexi Paul, who's only a freshman on this team. Josie Rosario's a freshman. We mentioned Bryant's in 8th grade. You can go Paxton Lewis, who's in 8th grade. Kayla DeSilvia, who had a good second half, is in 8th grade. So a lot of young, experienced coach on this team. What does the future hold, you believe, for Colonel basketball on the girls' side?
Well, the future looks bright, but you never know from one year to another. And as the advent of AAUs, a lot of times kids will change schools. And so you just hope you can hang on to what's yours and continue to have improvement.
Well, again, tonight's final stats are brought to you in part by German American Bank. Get your German American Bank Spirit Check Card today. We'll come back, get you set for that big semifinal matchup on Friday night, and wrap it up with our players who caught our eye and get you out of here on your Tuesday night. This is a post-game wrap-up showing a 29-point victory for Anderson County on Glycat.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
Welcome you back to Newcastle for today's final segment here on Glycad as Anderson County wins at 61-32. We look at tonight's most outstanding players, brought to you in part by our good friend here at Glycad and Leslie Gilly at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is always there. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance today, contact Leslie at 502-384-6184. And Coach, will start with the Oldham County team. Who really stood out to you for them?
Well, you know, they don't have a lot of seniors, but I thought all three of their seniors played well. And, you know, I would guess Miss Wood. I thought she started off strong for them, you know, both scoring defensively. And you have to have that senior that stands out as a leader for the other kids, and I thought she displayed that in tonight's game.
Yeah, Holly Wood graduating, and it's an Oldham County team that finishes the year 14-18. Anderson County picks up their 25th win. They're 25-8. And they could gone a couple different directions, but after that first quarter, it was mainly Laney Johnson. But are you going with Johnson, who really stood out for you?
Very much so. Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, when in doubt, get the ball to Laney. And she'll make you better in many different ways.
Yeah. Well, big matchup coming on Friday night here at Henry County between Anderson County and the winners of our first game tonight, and Simon Kenton. When you first preview that matchup and look into it, what stands out, and how does both teams pick up a victory, move on to Saturday?
John, I'll tell you right now, that's also a trap game, because with all the attention on Simon Kenton and Anderson, you've got South Oldham and you've got Grant playing that first game, and nobody's giving either one of them a chance. And I think South is just good enough that whoever wins that second game, if they have a letdown, South could slip in there. Not saying they will, but there's always that opportunity of the letdown from the semis.
Well, our upcoming schedule is brought to you in part by the law office of D. Camille, ISS, and Mattingly. Their reputation is their trademark, and we'll have that game on Friday night, and a lot of good action taking place on Glycod this week over regional action and teams trying to make the state tournament. And Coach, it's been a pleasure once again, and don't know if I'll have another game with you or not, but it's been a fun ride this year, and best luck rest of the way.
Well, John, as always, I've enjoyed working with you. Be careful. I know you're going to venture to the Midwest a little bit for your next journey, and good luck and successes there.
Well, it's a pleasure to go to do some minor league baseball, but Glycod gave me a great chance, a great opportunity to make some money, and of course just to call basketball and football last couple of years, and with Steve Bird and Chris LeBar and the great help they do there. I don't have another game with you guys or not, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate Jeff Cooper, all the hard work he does game in and game out, if I'm broadcasting with him or just running the ones and twos, and it was fun tonight. It was a couple not close games, but you got a good game on Friday, and we're ready to roll for that. So for Gary Forrest, Jeff Cooper, my name is John Balders. The final score from our second game tonight, 61-32. Anderson County wins it. So long. We'll talk to you later this week.
From Glycod, this has been Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game was brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.